And for the latest in West Asia, we have Akhilesh Suman joining us. Well, good morning, Akhilesh. Despite both Washington and Tehran insisting the ceasefire is still holding, we are seeing fresh exchanges of fire simultaneously and renewed threats from each other. What do you think of the fragile truce in the next major escalation?
Yes, Lipakshi, they had declared ceasefire, and this ceasefire is going to violated time and again. Whenever you see that the US tries to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, Iran attacks, and then US also makes counter attack.
Yeah.
So this is not actually the war between US and Iran in this point of time, but these are ceasefire violations. And ceasefire violations are taking place because Iran has taken the hostage of the Strait of Hormuz. So this is the major thing. And as we know that more than 1,500 ships are still stranded in the Strait of Hormuz, and these ships are owned by not one country, not by US or not by Israel. These are the ships which are owned by many countries of the world, including Asia, including Europe, and many other parts of the world. So I think that this is putting a pressure on US President Donald Trump, and that is why he sent 3 ships through the Strait of Hormuz, and that was attacked by Iranians. So I think that it is, you can say that it is continuation of Operation Freedom that US President Donald Trump has declared and then he withdrawn. But still that Operation Freedom is going on, maybe without declaring it, maybe without, not for the record, but it is going on, and that is why US sent the ships to test the situation on the ground. And the situation on the ground that Iran is not allowing any ship to pass without any violence and confrontation. So this is the situation, Lipakshi, now, that the peace is fragile, the truce is fragile, and the main reason this point of time is the closure of the Strait of Hormuz by Iran.
Right. Also, Akhilesh, with China and Russia again expected to veto the US-backed resolution on the Strait of Hormuz, while Iran refuses to commit to the proposed deal, what impact could that have on efforts to prevent the conflict, one from escalating further?
Actually, this is a huge problem, that the Strait of Hormuz is, destroying everyone's economy. The Strait of Hormuz closure is impacting negatively everyone's economy. But no country wants to come forward and put pressure on Iran that, please open the Strait of Hormuz and then talk and then negotiate in whatever manner you want. But Iran has taken the whole world on hostage. And that is why, the most impacted physically are the, West Asian countries. And that is why West Asian countries have made a proposal to open the Strait of Hormuz. Bahrain and USA are the co-sponsors of this draft. But I think that Russia and China may block it. They may use their, veto power. But no one is seeing it as a very positive, because they are not taking any initiative that can, establish peace in the whole region. So just blocking the Strait of Hormuz and just justifying it, or just blocking even resolutions, because UN is the body that must be respected in this point of time. Because if US is not abiding by any law, if Iran is not abiding by any law, then UN must come forward, and UNSC is the right forum. UNSC should discuss the issue threadbare, that what are the repercussions of this closure of the Strait of Hormuz.
Right.
And if they are not coming together, if they are not coming unanimous, and if politics is played on the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, I think it is going to, strengthen the the forces which are for the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, for taking the toll from the Strait of Hormuz. So I think this will negatively impact the peace in Strait of Hormuz, Lipakshi.
All right, Akhilesh, thank you so much for all that update.